Deep in the shadows, I know it's hard to put one foot in front of the other.
Hi everyone, welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is C Chronicles. I post fragrance related content on this platform and would very much appreciate it if you would join the family by subscribing. Now, to those who are already subscribed, thank you so much for the continued support. Also note, guys, that this is not a sponsored channel, so I rely mostly on AdSense, which is you watching adverts during the course of the videos. Alternatively, you can donate to this channel by making use of the PayPal link that I've put in the description and following prompts. Now, welcome to today's video. Today I have my current obsessions. These are fragrances from the Middle East that some I purchased recently, some not so long ago, okay? But when I sprayed them, I was hooked, and I thought to share this with you. I just have 6 in my collection, and I'm just going to be giving you a snippet of why they made it onto this list, okay? The number one is going to be Royal Mystery from the House of Swiss Arabian. Guys, this fragrance I've been seeing, okay, it's not a new fragrance. It's not a new fragrance at all. And I knew, because I did smell it some time ago, that it did smell a little bit like Jo Malone English Pear and Freesia. But I did not pull the trigger because I thought, well, I do have English Pear and Freesia. I don't want a repetition. But this, guys, gives you a concentrated feel of that fragrance. It's sweet, it's fruity, it's juicy. It's got that rose and it's got that Freesia. But what it does, instead of what the actual English Pear and Freesia does, is this one, guys, lasts till the next wash. It is a very sweet fragrance offset. Just the first burst of this fragrance is going to give you that very sweet feel of it, but it is that melon after an hour that comes in to kind of like freshen things up, or to add like an aquatic, even fresh weight to this fragrance, to balance that sweetness there so that it doesn't keep on that sticky sweet theme. This is going to give you a serving of everything, okay? A little bit of some freshness, florals, green, you're going to get in this, as well as fruit, and of course that patchouli for depth. So I absolutely love this fragrance, guys, and if you haven't put your nose on it, I would recommend that you pick this one up, or possibly, smell it. But it is definitely in the same vein as that English Pear and Freesia. I'm actually going to bring it here on the Save or Splurge in a future video, where I'm going to compare it with that Jo Malone English Pear and Freesia, because I do have that fragrance, but I absolutely love this fragrance. So this is my number one obsession, guys, from the House of Swiss Arabian, and this is Royal Mystery. Now, the second one, guys, is going to be this one, Ajmal Evoke. And let me just show you the other one, because I'm always talking about this one on this particular channel. So just make sure that you don't make a mistake when you decide to buy. This one is Evoke Gold for her, and this one just is Evoke. All right. I'm going to spray this on my arm, and I was clued up by one of you guys on this channel to purchase this fragrance when I came here raving, guys, about Greasy, okay? And yes, I think it was Denise, if not Denise, it was another staunch supporter of this channel that came to me and said, have you tried Ajmal Evoke? Now, the reason why I just kept on passing this one is, if you read the reviews on Evoke, this particular one for her, there's so many mixed reviews. I guess because it's a very complex scent and a lot of people don't quite understand it. This is the serving of one of the best or beautifully done irises I've ever smelled there, right? Now, am I taking anything away from this? Not really, but it was dethroned almost immediately because of the lasting power and the complexity in Ajmal's Evoke, right? A fragrance that vibes the same as Maison Alhambra Greasy, both of them inspired by Gris Dieu. I get a more complex, a more refined fragrance, a fragrance I didn't have to wait for to macerate. It's less screechy than what I get in here, and it's less powdery. Now, am I saying I do not like this? No, I absolutely like this one, but what made me buy this one was, I was thinking, do I buy a second bottle of this? And if you know, this particular line by Maison Alhambra is not, well, it's affordable, but it's not like dirt cheap like the rest of them. So I was thinking, do I buy a second bottle of this, or do I go with that heads up of try the Ajmal one? And I'm glad I bought this one, guys. You're going to get rose, you're going to get jasmine. It's woody, it's spicy, it's complex, it's got that powdery feel without pushing it. It's very concentrated. It's at par, with the original, even performing a little bit better. So I'm going to say maybe they copied the actual original formulation, because the actual Gris by Dior has been reformulated. So this could very well be one of those concentrated original formulations. So if you like me, you love the Gris Dior DNA, then I'm gonna say go for the Ajmal one, right? But if the Ajmal one is a bit on the pricey side, then you can go for this one. This one is doing its thing, but it's a fragrance that I'm toying around because it still hasn't gotten to 100% maceration, where this, you know, just gave me that concentration offset, and I cannot wait, you know, to just enjoy this more and more. And this is actually on my June tray. Okay, it's Ajmal Evoke for Her. Now, next up is a no-brainer, guys. This fragrance I am savoring because I know if I finish this one, I'm going to buy a second bottle. Teriac, okay, from the house of Lattafa. And this is not because it's a Quentin Briche creation. It's because it's one of those fragrances that if you're not too keen on carrying a little decant around, or, you know, a little mini around, or respraying during the course of the day, this is going to do it. This is another one that I feel Mr. Briche probably told Lattafa to just let it macerate before they put it out there. This is one fragrance that does not need, you know, to sit for it to do its thing. Actually, as it presents itself there in the mail, it's just going to come to you concentrated. And what it simply does after that, it just gets better and better. So if you haven't put your nose on Teriac, guys, this is one fragrance I'm going to say, kindly get your nose on, okay? Lattafa nailed it on this. And I know I always bring a lot of Lattafas here and I rave a lot about them. This is a fragrance I'm raving about because it's a perfect combo to me of West meets Middle East when it comes to how fragrances are made. You're going to get that footprint of Quentin Briche in here. You're going to get that Western kind of recognizable feel, but there is something in this fragrance, guys, that's going to give you that Middle Eastern tone, right? It does have apricot without it being outright fruity. It does have the leather there, and there's some woods here, spices, and it's just concentrated. It comes across as very mature, thick, you know, fragrance that's rich with a lot of weight, and that is exactly what I like about Teriac. So I would have been probably maybe close to halfway, just like how I have hammered my Greasy here from Maison Alhambra, but I'm just kind of taking it easy, as I said, because I'm trying to, you know, slow down when it comes to purchasing fragrances, because Lattafa keeps on dropping them. At the moment, I'm waiting for that. So I'm thinking, you know, let me savor this than actually just douse myself with it all the time. But it is one fragrance that I'm absolutely obsessed with. Teriac from the house of Lattafa. Now, if you've been following my channel, guys, you will recognize this fragrance. And if you watched the previous video where I was doing, you know, shifting my fragrances, 400 fragrances from one room to the other, I decided to do an impromptu video, and I showed you this one, but it was in a box, right? It was new in a box. That's not to say I'd run through the first one, right? When Ajwa was here and I sprayed this fragrance, I just said to her, could you, this is still brand new, I haven't actually, you know, but I had a previous bottle, right, which Ajwa took with her. I sprayed this fragrance. I said, can you just tell me your thoughts? And she was wowed by this fragrance immediately. This is a gorgeous fragrance from the house of Al Watania. If you're looking at Al Watania with a side eye and you don't know where to start, this I'm going to recommend Offset, right? But I'm going to clue you up here very quickly. It starts off a little bit weird there. It's got like a, I think it's got petitgrain and some lemon, you know, like a citrusy thing going on there that kind of gives it like even a bathroom detergent type of feel that will confuse you initially when you spray it there. So it's going to outright smell like a bathroom detergent, and that detergent kind of smell unfortunately does not go away, say, in 10-20 minutes. It kind of lasts there for a long time, and it will be a fragrance that if you're one that judges fragrances by, say, walking into a store, purchasing a fragrance or spraying a fragrance and then making up your mind, you might miss out on this one, because this one starts to open up later on. I'm going to say from the 35, 40, 50, even an hour mark there, that's when it opens up into this beautiful, yummy caramel scent. Some fruitiness comes to the surface in this fragrance. Vanilla, marshmallow, you know, just a whipped cream type of feel of a fragrance there. And then that's when it starts to communicate that this is in the same vein as Mimos Centra. Or, you know, if you love fragrances like Love Don't Be Shy, you're going to love this. If you love Oriana, you're going to love this. But you're going to feel that concentration there where it's actually doing better than Love Don't Be Shy, than, you know, Oriana. So it was after I came with this fragrance and I did a review that some of you guys said, if it starts off like a bathroom detergent, then it's going to be in the same vein as a Sintra. And then I had to go and have a quick sniff of Sintra, because Sintra is a fragrance that I've always been seeing but never bothered to sniff. And then I realized, yes, Sintra starts off a little bit weird there, and then it gets into its most relaxing, nice comfort zone after a while. So do try Nadine, but remember, as I've clued you up, it's a fragrance that needs a little bit of time, after which you might find yourself so addicted that even on this bottle, right? Remember, I told you that my first bottle, Ajwa took. I had said I was going to buy a backup bottle, the very first one that she took. So I went and I bought this one together with another fragrance, but I'm still going to get another backup bottle of this because, one, it's dirt cheap and it outperforms a lot of the other fragrances that I have within my collection. Not necessarily here, but some of the fragrances that I've hyped in the past have been outperformed absolutely by this beautiful caramel marshmallow yummy scent. So I am absolutely obsessed, guys, with Nadine from the house of Al Watania. And on 5th position, guys, we have Eclair, a fragrance that's very hard not to like. What is not to like about Eclair? I mean, tell me, honestly, the fact that it's a pleasant surprise from Lattafa, the fact that Lattafa decided to go soft here, not so soft in terms of the fragrance not having presence, but just decided to give us the yummiest, you know, rich gourmand, like a foodie type of fragrance there, intense vanilla, sitting on a bed of whipped cream and everything nice and rich that you can think of, buttermilk and all that yummy vanilla cookie thing. This is a beautiful fragrance, guys. It does have the woods, of course, you know, to give it some weight. So it's not going to be just lactonic. It's going to have those woods. It's going to have a little bit of a spiciness, but there is going to be that distinct feel of an edible tone in this fragrance that just screams the ultimate gourmand. So another one that I would love to get a backup bottle of, but it's not priced, you know, okay at the moment. This is a fragrance that I am actually, you know, really pushing and pulling with Maima because she loves it a lot, and I often have to kind of hide it from her. I did offer her Caramel Cascade and she told me outright, no mom, it's not the same, I don't like it, but she absolutely loves this one. So Eclair by Lattafa, if you haven't put your nose on it, try to get a decant. This is a beautiful, yummy gourmand that you need in your collection, and I am obsessed. Now, the last one here is going to be the obvious one, guys, which is Kudlash Empire Victor. The reason why I did decide to bring this one again, okay, is because I've noticed that there are a lot of contradictions when it comes to this fragrance, not as to what it's cloning, but the opening. And I have to be very honest with you guys. Yes, the opening of this fragrance is a little bit strange, okay? But if you can look past the opening, this is going to be one of those fragrances that does not vibe like this, but opens weirdly like this, okay? So some of you have come into my comment section saying, oh, I get a fecal smell from this, I get a pungent smell from this, I get like a, you know, smelly feet from this. I've had all sorts of comments when it comes to this fragrance, and some people saying, what the hell do you like about it? But what I can tell you guys is this opens up weird, but turns if you give it time. And this doesn't need a lot of time. This needs like maybe 10-15 minutes. If you can go past that burst, you know, that sugary burst that's a little bit weird there, it then develops into the most beautiful creamy vanilla you can ever think of there, like a very nice concentrated, sophisticated, spicy vanilla. This I'm still going to defend as one of the most, you know, beautiful fragrances that I have in my collection, one of the most gorgeous finds of 2024, but I just had to bring it here and re-clarify that, yes, for those that get a little bit of a funny opening there, I do get that too, but it's beyond that. This is one of those fragrances that if you can look past that, depending on how, you know, your nose is going to hold, or how long your nose is going to hold on to that, you're going to find yourself looking around and thinking, who's smelling so gorgeous? And it's going to be you. So that is what this fragrance does. But I can see how some people can be fixated in that opening and they stick to that and they cannot see past that. Also, do remember that when it comes to this particular Empire Victor, there's two versions to this fragrance. This is the newer one. There's an older one that was reformulated. I think this was something to do with an anniversary or something like that. I didn't really read much into it, so just make sure you've got the right formulation. Some people saying they get a lot of woods and oud. It could be that you've got the other formulation. Okay, this one develops into the most beautiful vanilla, but I do concur with the rest of the people that do say they do get like a funny opening there. And this is my 6th Obsession, and it's on my June tray, and I'm enjoying it, guys, and it's one that I feel is backup bottle worthy. So that's it, guys. That's a wrap. Empire Victor wraps up the 6 fragrances that I'm currently obsessed with. Okay, I didn't want to call these favorites per se, because there's always new favorites. I mean, Empire Victor is a fragrance that's like under 6 weeks old in my collection, but it has already qualified as one of my favorites. So when it comes to the Middle East, the way they drop their fragrances, there's always going to be something that you're going to like there. So I didn't want to call it, I didn't want to call this video a top 10 or something. I just wanted to call this video, you know, the fragrances that I'm really sucking up to, that I'm really enjoying. And I do hope you drop your favorites in the comment section as well. C Chronicles is my name. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's meet in that comment section where we're going to discuss more about fragrances. Let me know your thoughts on these fragrances that I have, you know, showed you today. Let me know if you have any experience with any one of those fragrances, and I would love to interact with you there. Remember to turn on post notifications on this and my other channel. That way you get to be notified anytime I upload a video. Like and share this one. And smelling good, guys, is a form of good manners. Cheers.